What's up guys, Jake Newby here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be comparing the Zhiyun Crane 2 to the newly announced DJI Ronin-S. Now, if you're new here, I make videos all about filmmaking, photography, the latest camera news, all that good stuff. So if you're into that, please consider subscribing. So yesterday I posted this video where I talked about the different things that we know about the DJI Ronin-S that was announced at CES 2018. Now there's really no denying the fact that DJI has made a product that has a very similar resemblance to the Zhiyun Crane 2. And to be honest with you, I think it's great that DJI is finally getting into the handheld DSLR gimbal market. To be honest, I expected them to get into it sooner, but I'm not surprised because they had their own Osmo series and was trying to promote that. So in doing this comparison, guys, try to remember that we don't know everything about the Ronin-S quite yet, but knowing DJI as a company and how they've launched similar products in the past with their Osmo series, their Ronins, their drones, the whole deal, we can kind of jump to some conclusions on what they might be launching with it, what the accessories might be, and so on. But just keep in mind, I'm gonna, a lot of this video might be speculation, but it's just to see what the Zhiyun Crane 2 might be up against now. So first off, let's take a look at what the gimbal comes with. One of the best parts about the Zhiyun Crane, besides the gimbal itself, is the fact that it comes with this super nice carrying case that fits the crane perfectly when broken down. And one of the more appealing aspects of the Zhiyun Crane 2 is the fact that it comes with a small tripod base that screws into the bottom of the Zhiyun Crane handle and allows users to set the crane down wherever they want. And on top of that, it also helps you balance the crane faster. Based off their product video, it doesn't look like DJI is going to be shipping any kind of tripod base with the Ronin-S, but I would assume, knowing DJI, that there's some sort of accessory that you could probably pick up afterwards for an additional purchase. And that right there is where I think Zhiyun is actually doing it better. I really enjoy the fact that Zhiyun provides a gimbal, case, batteries, a charger, and a tripod with every purchase of the Crane 2. And historically, DJI really hasn't been all that generous when it comes to giving more than just the base product. Now I will give them a little bit of credit because if you buy the DJI Osmo Pro, the X5 camera, I do believe you get like a hard shell case, kind of like a Pelican case for it. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of DJI products out there that come with more than the base model unless you're buying a bundle pack. It'll also be interesting to see where DJI prices this gimbal, since I would assume that it would try to be competitive with the Crane 2. And right now the Crane 2 retails for about $750 US. I would expect to see the DJI Ronin-S be released for a little bit cheaper than the Zhiyun Crane 2. I was thinking probably between the $600 and $750 range, but it's up in the air, who knows. Getting into some of the features of these gimbals themselves, one of the things I am super excited to see on the Ronin-S is the follow focus system. Zhiyun was actually one of the first, if not the first, company to create a gimbal where you could operate the focus of your camera from the gimbal without some sort of expensive follow focus rig. Now this was a feature that filmmakers were super excited for with the announcement of the Crane 2. However, many of us, including myself, were pretty disappointed when we found out that this feature was only available for Canon shooters. Zhiyun also said that filmmakers would be able to change exposure settings just using the gimbal handle itself. However, when it came out, we also realized that it was only for Canon shooters as well. DJI has come out and said that when the Ronin-S ships, you will be able to use the follow focus features whether you're a Canon shooter, Sony shooter, Panasonic shooter, and so on. Now keep in mind, there are rumors that Zhiyun is going to release some kind of firmware that allows users to throw basically whatever camera they want on the Crane 2 and get access to the features that Canon shooters have now, but it's not here yet, so who knows if it's coming. As far as batteries go, the Zhiyun Crane stores its batteries in this super thick tube that honestly takes forever to unscrew. But according to petapixel.com, with the Ronin-S, you can actually hot swap the batteries while filming. This is going to be super helpful if you are filming continuous for a long time on the Ronin-S. And personally, I think it's a little bit interesting that there's going to be a hot swap feature on the Ronin-S. Now, it sounds like a really cool feature, but it makes me wonder what the battery life is going to be like. If there is need for a hot swap feature, is the battery life going to be that great? The actual structure of the two gimbals are pretty similar, but they're not the same. DJI has proudly announced that the Ronin-S elevates the camera payload above the roll axes, which will allow users without a flip out screen to be able to see what they are filming. And I have to say, as a Sony shooter on the Crane 2, this was a little bit of an issue. Pretty much no matter how you shoot, you aren't going to be able to just look directly at the screen without the gimbal being in your way one way or another. And I know it might not sound like that big of a deal, but a lot of people complain about this feature on the Zhiyun Crane, so it's pretty cool that DJI has capitalized on it. And obviously there's alternative ways to view what you're filming on the Zhiyun Crane 2. For example, in this video I showed how I mount external monitors onto my Zhiyun Crane so that I always have a screen to look at while filming. However, if I do want to use an external monitor, I'll usually take the time to set up the dual handlebars for the Zhiyun Crane so I have more to grab onto. And speaking of mounting things on gimbal, this is definitely where DJI is going to take the lead here. DJI has come out and said that they will have different options for filmmakers to mount different accessories on the Ronin-S, such as microphones, monitors, and lights. And I think this is a flaw of like the Crane 2. I don't think the Zhiyun Cranes are really built to put anything on them. They're really built to just be, small compact gimbals with just the camera and just the gimbal. But I think it's really nice to have the option to put stuff on it if we want to, and I think DJI is going to give that to us. As far as interface goes, I think I'm more impressed with DJI's buttons and functionality than I am with Zhiyun's. The Zhiyun Crane does have a nice interface and allows users to navigate the menus using the scroll wheels. However, changing the settings of the way the gimbal functions as far as sensitivity goes, you have to connect to the Zhiyun app, and honestly, that just isn't that great. DJI, on the other hand, is offering custom preset modes right on the handle that will change responsiveness in deadband settings. And to me, that's a huge plus. The less I have to do as far as setting up equipment on location, I feel like is better. And the last thing I want to be doing is connecting to some kind of app on my smartphone in order to make my equipment work the way I want it to. Now I know you're going to have to connect the Ronin-S to the DJI app at some point, whether that be for the sports mode, the smooth track option, or whether or not those buttons for customizable presets are going to be linked to the app. But I do know those are going to be stuff that you can preset before your shoot and then just hit the buttons as you're shooting to switch between the modes. Now, lastly, I want to talk about the different camera mounting options onto the gimbals themselves. Now, obviously, you can always throw a quick release plate onto whatever sled the Ronin-S comes with, but one thing I really like about the Crane 2 is that it comes with the Manfrotto tripod sleds. So it's really easy for me to just take my camera off my tripod and then slip it into the Crane 2 whenever I want to go onto a gimbal. All of that being said, we don't know what DJI's sled's going to look like, so they could be using a Manfrotto plate or they might be using something completely different, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, the Ronin-S doesn't come out until the second quarter of this year, so we don't have all the details on the gimbal quite yet. But keep in mind, guys, these were just my own speculations. These are my own thoughts, feelings, opinions on the Ronin-S compared to the Zhiyun Crane 2, but I am super curious to hear what you guys have to say about it, so please let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'd love to start a conversation about what your guys' predictions will be on the Ronin-S. And as soon as we hear more details about the Ronin-S, I will definitely do an update video, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, give it a bigger thumbs up if you hated it, and we'll see you in the next one.